Welcome back to the green room with Jade Million. Guys, I'm honestly so nervous right now because I'm doing a solo episode and this is my first solo episode. I have been wanting to do just me and you because my whole vision for this podcast is to give you guys an opportunity to really connect with me and my life, as well as like my music and my artistry and obviously my network. But I do think it's important that we have some like one-on-one time. So that's what we're doing tonight. Our amazing audio and he just does everything for the podcast. Hank, he's absent tonight. So me and Elizabeth, got things going ourselves. So if there's any technical difficulties, very sorry, but hopefully everything's good to go. So yeah, I'm so excited that I get to sit down and talk with you guys. I have had the most insane past week of my life. Mercury is definitely in retrograde, y'all. I don't know if you guys know anything about horoscopes or astrology, but basically I got hit hard with everything that's going on with the planets right now. And if you're not in that, I won't go too deep into it, but just know that my Scorpio moon caused me a lot of pain this past week. Really high highs, really low lows. So I thought it was a perfect week to just kind of come on here and be super honest and vulnerable with you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted something that was kind of alluding to the fact that it was a really difficult week for me just regarding my music career. So we're going to get into all of that. And if you guys struggle with rejection, comparison, feeling like you're just not enough or not doing enough, I think that you guys will really enjoy this episode. So make sure to stick around. But I just want to update you guys on my day. I had a really great day today. I shot a lot of promo for my new single coming out. I feel like I should just say the name. Like I haven't released the name anywhere. By the time this comes out, you'll know the name of it. It's called Energy. And I wanted to do some really cool visual clips for the like marketing and promotion part of it. The cover art is like a really beautiful orange. So we did some really sexy, fun video of me like squeezing an orange in like an orange bikini. And then we did some stuff outside in an orange outfit. Just to help promote the song. Basically, every time I release a song, I try to do as much as I can visually with it because I don't know about you guys, but a visual just adds so much emotion for me to a song. Like when I see an artist post a visual to their song, I connect more with the song. So I think that's really important for any artists out there. Try to get some good visuals for your music so people can kind of make more of a connection with it. So we did that today, and that went really good. And then I actually just got back from performing at a venue here called 1230 Club. And I don't know if I've talked about this place in previous episodes, but it is Justin Timberlake's venue in Nashville. So there's 3 floors, and I've performed on every single floor, but I normally perform in the VIP room there. But tonight I was actually at this place called the Supper Club, and I don't even know how to describe it. It almost reminds you of like a theater. Like you walk in and it's like beautiful, like luxurious red, like velvets, and it feels very different for Nashville, and it feels a little more, I don't know. I don't want to say like classier than most places, but it definitely has a classy vibe to it. So I was up there tonight and I was just thinking about how many famous people I see in Nashville. Like my mom always used to ask me when I first moved here, like, oh, have you seen anybody famous? And I used to be like, no, not really. But in the past year, it's insane how many celebrities that I have just been, in very close vicinity with. So I just want to like tell you guys about a few of them. So tonight, this what sparked this idea to talk about. Kristen Cavallari walked in with her kids. And if you guys know her, she's from The Hills. If you guys ever watched The Hills on MTV, I was a Hills stan. I loved The Hills. I was like, I want to be Audrina. I loved Audrina. Maybe because she was brunette and like I'm a brunette. So I was like, I related most to her. I was also really young. But I wanted to be in that show so bad. So seeing Kristen Cavallari tonight was like so cool. By the way, she's so hot. Like, this woman is everything. Like, she looks incredible. I'm pretty sure that the kids that were with her are her kids, just because I didn't really see like anyone else with them, so I would assume that they're all her kids, and there was like 4 of them. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry, but I know she has kids. She looks so bomb. I was like, oh my God, she was like the most beautiful woman in the room. So I saw her tonight, and it was so cute because her kids, like little ducklings, came up to the stage and all put 5s in my tip jar. And it was so cute. And I was like, you guys really made my night. Like, it's the little things during my acoustic sets that make my night. So our kids came up and they tipped me, and it was just adorable. So she was there, and then it got me thinking about the time. I had 2 other experiences at 12:30 Club that I saw like super famous people. One of them, this was crazy. I was up on stage singing the song X's and O's, which is by Elle King. And I'm not like, I don't know much about Elle King. I don't know what she looks like. I didn't know what she looks like. So she was sitting in front of me while I was singing that song. I had no clue. I just remember this couple being right in front of me. They were having the time of their lives. They were drinking. She was like dancing. She was so into my set, my music. It wasn't my music. I do a lot of cover stuff. But so she was like right in front of me. And after I was done, I got off stage, and one of my mutual friends was there, and they were like, do you know who that was in front of you? And I was like, no. And they were like, that was Elle King, and like you were singing her song. Like, I'm surprised she didn't like get up and sing with you. So I was also in the VIP room at one point, and Justin Timberlake and his wife walked in, Jessica Biel. And like, I was more stunned by Jessica Biel, honestly. She was underneath the light, and it was like the light of heaven was just shining down on her. I have never gotten nervous around like a celebrity or a star, but I think it was because I was singing and Justin Timberlake was in the room. I just like kind of got that weird panicky feeling in my chest, but it was fine. They honestly didn't really come up to me or say anything, but it was still really cool. So I saw them. And then this past week, I don't know if you guys are super into like influencer, I guess you would call it like community or just like influencers in general. I've been following this girl, Lauren Elizabeth, since I was like, could be on the internet and knew what influencers were. She's like an OG. Like, if you watch a lot of YouTube and you were into like beauty gurus when they were super big, Lauren Elizabeth was like one of the first to ever do it. And I'm like up at the pool with Elizabeth, and she walks out onto my pool deck, and I'm like, Elizabeth, you were like, I don't know who that is, but I was like freaking out. I was like, that's Lauren Elizabeth. And if she stayed for like 2 more seconds, I probably would have been like, hey, like, I don't know, guys, give me advice. Like, I feel like I shouldn't say anything. And like I said, I normally would think that I would not be the type to get starstruck, but when it's people that I have followed for a while, I kind of want to say something, you know? So I didn't say anything to her, but she came out the pool deck, and then she left, and then she came back, and she was like doing work on her laptop, so I definitely didn't bother her. But just crazy, guys. Nashville is fucking popping off. It's booming. I don't care what anybody says. It really is becoming the city to be at. I think a lot of people from the major cities it's like a escape, you know? It's a city, and it's cool, and it's fun, and there's a lot to do, but it's kind of like an escape from LA, escape from New York. So it's just really cool to see a lot of really big names start to come to my city. So I just want to touch on that because I'm always proud of Nashville. So yeah, I thought you guys would find that interesting. But after my show, I was like, you know what? I am going away this weekend. So I'm going to Hangout Fest this weekend. And I was like, I need to get a podcast episode in because I have a lot of trouble taking time off without feeling anxiety. So I'm pretty work addicted, work obsessed. It's hard for me to take off time or even rest without feeling a little like I'm not being productive or, you know, not doing as much as I possibly can be. And I think that's the hardest thing about being a creative and like doing the kind of thing that I'm doing. I heard this quote, and I'm sure you guys have heard it too. It went viral on TikTok, but You trade your 9 to 5 for a 24/7. And that is how I feel. I mean, I am constantly like, what can I be doing for my career, right? I'm like, my whole life could be content if I wanted it to be, if I made it into that. And that amount of pressure to turn everything into content or turn everything into work is not as freeing as you would think. It's not as freeing as I thought it would be. And a lot of people that I look up to and aspire to be like, just in the creative space, have kind of been saying the same thing. So I just think that's something to remember. You know, the grass is always greener. I wouldn't trade the way that I live my life for the world. I am my own business, right? So that's always been my dream, but it's a lot of pressure and work. So I say all that to say I'm going away this weekend. So I'm going to go to Hangout Fest and really try to enjoy myself and enjoy the experience. I haven't gone to a festival since the last Bonnaroo that happened before COVID. And festivals are interesting for me because I'm not going to lie, sometimes I go to concerts, and as much as I enjoy consuming music and watching artists perform, and I get very, very inspired, don't get me wrong, it's also difficult in ways because I'm there, I'm in the crowd, I'm, you know, usually like drinking or hanging with friends and just being a normal human. I think someone's fighting. Is that what it sounded like? Just being, I don't know, guys, I live in an apartment building. I hear crazy shit. So, but yeah, so I'm in the crowd and like, I'm looking at these artists doing what I dream of, what my ultimate goal is. Like when I visualize my dream and like my highest self is like thinking about what I want most in life, it's being on tour. It's being on a festival stage. It's performing to a huge crowd. So being in the crowd and watching someone do that, I'm not gonna lie, like it's a little bit like, I get a little jealous. Like I know that's like petty in a way, but it's just the truth. And my goal of this podcast is to be so honest with you guys. So yeah, when I go and watch concerts, sometimes it's just like a reminder of how badly I want that. So it's just always an interesting experience, but I normally have a lot of fun at festivals. And going into this festival, I'm going with a group of people that I do not know. So, you know, social anxiety tends to like make me want to drink and go pretty hard. But in the past couple of weeks, I've been easing up on that lifestyle. If you guys don't know, I did 75 hard from January 1st all the way to March 16th. Funny side note, I put the date wrong on my calendar, so I technically did 74 hard. Yeah, once again, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Because I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I want a fucking cocktail. So I put the date wrong in my calendar. And when I tell you I was depressed for weeks because I was like, I fucked up, but I'm at the point where I'm like, it is what it is. And that's very me. It's a very me thing to do 74 hard, not 75 hard. Anyway, so I did that. And after doing that, it's a very rigid, disciplined lifestyle. If you don't know what it is, you work out twice a day. One has to be outside, no alcohol. You're on a diet, reading 10 pages of a book, and drinking a gallon of water a day. It's intense, but it was honestly an amazing, amazing time in my life. I probably will do it again. But I did that, and then I came off of that, and I was like, my pendulum, like I swing hard one way or the other. And that's the thing about going super hard in one direction. Balance is key to life, and you have to know yourself, right? So like coming out of that, I was like, I don't know if I want to live forever this discipline, because I found myself counting down the days when it was nearing the end. And like, I don't want to live life counting down days ever for any reason. So I came out of that. I was like, I was wilding out. I'm coming out of being completely sober for 75 days. So I had a wild time for like a month and a half. And the past couple of weeks, I've been like lightening up and not really living like that anymore. I've actually been putting back in some of the things that I was doing on 75 Hard, like going for a walk every day and reading and not drinking really as much alcohol, and eating clean again, and just kind of having boundaries, you know, where I know I need to have them. So going into this festival weekend now, I'm a little like, I want to just enjoy myself and not destroy myself. That's a catchphrase. Enjoy myself, not destroy myself. Wait, guys, that's going to be my motto for this weekend. I won't say it again, but you know it's good. So pray for me, y'all, because we all know how wild festivals can get. And like I said, I'm going with a group of people I don't know, and we're all staying in an Airbnb on the beach, like guys and girls. I'm walking in the real world. Like, this could go a lot of different ways, but I think it's going to be great. So very excited for that. I'm going to have so much to update you guys on when I get back from that. So stay tuned. But all right, I feel like I kind of updated you guys on everything that I wanted to touch base about. And I want to get into the topic today. So I want to talk about something that I have faced a lot of in the past, like, I would say like month, 2 months, rejection. And rejection is something that I have had to become extremely familiar with. So, by the way, if I keep pushing my hair like this, it's because I just got new extensions. So, you know, we're making them work. But, yeah, I want to talk about rejection. And I want to share with you guys my experience with rejection recently, because I think that if you follow me, at least from what I gather from a lot of messages that I receive, you guys say like the most beautiful, kind things to me. And sometimes I read the messages and I'm like, if they only fucking knew. Like, if you only knew what I'm feeling right now, if you only knew what I went through yesterday, like, and they always tend to come at times where I really, really need them. You know, I really need that just DM of encouragement. And that's why when that happens, I make sure to really say to whoever, you know, message me, like, you really don't know how much this means right now, in this moment. So I feel like it's hard to portray that on Instagram, like what I go through, right? Because I don't ever want to come off as like too much of like a victim or a crybaby or whatever the case may be. And our brains are kind of like molded on Instagram to like a certain type of content. I mean, I know this for a fact. When I post a certain piece of content, me in a bikini, me in fucking underwear and a top, like, yeah, it does great, right? Perfectly. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. We all know the fucking story. I don't have to touch on it. We know how it is. But that's why I started this podcast, to be able to actually like let you guys in on the real shit. And I've been facing a lot of rejection recently. And it's been hard on me because, you know, my birthday was in May. I'm a Taurus, if you didn't know. But my birthday was May 3rd. I turned 26. And I think it all kind of started with the vision that I had of my life at this point, right? So like when I was like 16 years old, and this is corny as hell, but this is God's honest truth. I remember blowing out my birthday candles and being like, I wish to have a Grammy by the age of 20, okay? I'm nowhere near a Grammy. I don't know that, but we've got some work still to do, right? I'm aware of that. I'm 26. I wished for a lot of things. I thought a lot of things would be... I thought I would be more ahead, I guess, than I am. And that can be really, really paralyzing. It can be... it can make you just want to kind of crawl in a hole, you know, because you're like, at least I feel like I work so hard. You know, I work as hard as I possibly can. Anybody in my life, I think, would also attest to that, like that I work really, really hard, right? So it's like, what the fuck kind of thing. So I think it all started with me realizing, holy shit, like life's a lot different in ways, and life is still great and beautiful, but it's just different than I had planned on it being. And then, like I said, I went through a breakup, and immediately I did the fucking same old, like, was like dating and like trying to like go on dates, whatever. And I think I was just trying to like fill a missing piece, like right off the bat, even though my higher self knows that that's not the answer. So my birthday happens. I'm like seeing a new guy kind of that I knew deep down like wasn't a match for me, but on paper, like he seemed to be good and like he was, you know, like good looking, had his shit together, whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was honestly being like the worst version of myself. Like I was, like I said, in the heat of this just wilding out phase of coming off of being so disciplined and so strict and just being like, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna go out with my friends. I'm gonna do what I want again. It was very short lived, but he was involved in that stage, and it came to an end pretty abruptly. He actually, he was really intensely like, he was really emotional with me right off the bat. He like wrote me like a love letter, and he was like sending me flowers to my house. He sent me this wine. Cheers to you. Man, that's some good wine. I'm just laughing because I literally bought that wine for like a dinner that we had, and then he got me the bottle. But like he sent me like wine, flowers, chocolates, like the works, right? And even though like my soul wasn't like that connected to him, I was like, well, like on paper this seems to be going really well, and like maybe it's too soon, but maybe it could work out. And on my birthday night, he came out with us, and I resorted back to like some old habits and old communication ways that it's just like I'm not that proud of. So the reason I'm telling you that is because a couple days later on my actual birthday, like he didn't text me, and I was like, that's weird. My mind, you know, I kind of like resort to the game playing thing where I'm like, oh, he's not texting me, like what the fuck, what's going on? So I hit him up, and he was like, I was like, hey, you know, I would love to talk to you when I get back, because I was in Chicago for my birthday. And he was like, yeah, I would love to talk to you too. Like, I really need to talk to you about something. And I was like, okay, well, I need to know right now. I don't really care if it's my birthday. My anxiety will really get the best of me. So if you could just tell me now. So I'm thinking that he's going to be like, your lifestyle is like not, like it's not good for mine. You know, he's super like disciplined, very strict. He's very healthy, and we love that for him. So I was for sure like, he's going to be like, you're a wild child. Like I just can't deal with it. And I was going to respect that. I was going to be like, that's fine. Like I'm in a phase, and I'm in a stage of my life where like, that's probably for the best. And he comes back at me with, I have been seeing someone else, and I have decided to pursue her exclusively, which was I was totally caught off guard, y'all. Like the things that he was doing, and I said this to him. I said, I feel bad for her. Like, I really feel bad for that girl, because the way that he was treating me, it's alarming that he was with another girl and talking to another girl. And I don't know the whole situation, right? So, like, who knows? Like, maybe they just met, and he was like, no, she's the one. Like, I don't really know. But regardless, like, the way that this man was, like, kind of pouring into me, and anybody in my life can like attest this. Like I'm not being crazy. Like he really was like going all in. I mean, he met all of my best fucking friends on my birthday. I introduced him to my whole friend group, brought him along. Like it was just a lot in a couple weeks. It's called love bombing. Look it up. But yeah, so that happened, right? That's rejection, because even though I low-key knew that this man was not like my man and not the one for me, I was still like, he chose another girl over me. So that's rejection. Happy fucking birthday to me. I asked for it though, so I can't complain. I was like, you have to tell me now. So then we move on to the following week, which was, I think because that happened with him like a couple weeks ago. So then I like had a couple rough weeks, and then this past week, someone very close to me within my team of people around me decided that it wasn't in their best interest to be involved in my career anymore. And that was a different kind of pain, because that was an act out of love, and I know it was, but there was a lot of like built up expectation for me regarding that situation. So it's hard to stay graceful when you feel like you were kind of led a different way than what ended up happening, right? So like, I was like, it's like over-promising and under-delivering kind of thing. And I've been through this before, so I handled it way better than I've ever handled it in my life. But it still was like, it stung, you know, because there's still that little voice in my head that's like, well, if you were good enough, like he would never like leave you, you know, he would not risk not being a part of this. So that happened. And I really had to just be like a big girl, you know, and realize that it's not worth me ending the relationship with this person, but it is, I had to honor my feelings. And I gave myself that space to, you know, just kind of be sad about that, because it's a heartbreak in a way. So that felt like rejection. So there's 2. Then, okay, so that happens on Monday. Wednesday rolls around, and I've been coming in contact with some big names in the industry recently, right? Thank fucking God. At least that's a sign that like some things are going well. Whether it's just like, you know, DMs or follows or whatever, it's all over social media, of course, because everything fucking is right now. And someone had followed me that I really had wanted to work with. Like he was like my dream person to work with, and he's in Nashville, shockingly, because I don't know. I was shocked that he was in Nashville. So he followed me, and I ended up hitting him up and kind of being like, hey, like, I'm a huge fan of your work. Like, I would love to link up and, you know, just like hear what you have coming next. That's what I said. And the reason that I didn't say I'm an artist and I want to work with you is because when you're trying to build a relationship with somebody, a genuine relationship, you don't want to ask things from people, right? I can even speak from like the people who comment on my TikTok and they're like, yo, we gotta work. Yo, let's do a song. I don't even fucking look. I'm sorry. And like that can come off as pretentious, but it just feels like you're thinking that I'm just gonna like work, you know, with anybody. And once you've kind of done the work yourself and gotten to a certain place, you're just, that's not how it's gonna work. You're better off being like, hey, I love what you do. I would love to hear about your story. Can we grab a coffee? Like that, I would be like, absolutely, you know? Ask somebody for maybe like advice or inspiration or whatever, but like don't just be like, I want to work with you. It just seems thirsty, and that's just what it is. And everybody in the industry feels the same way. So I did not want to be that person. I was just like, thank you for the follow. I would love to link up and hear what you have coming next. And they were like, yeah, like come through the studio. Like you can hear whatever. Long fucking story short, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I will one day, maybe, but I basically got told eventually once they figured out that I was an artist, because they were like, I didn't know you were an artist, which is wild to me because my Instagram bio says music artist in all caps right at the top. Multiple videos of me playing guitar, singing. If you creeped on my sexy photos, you creeped on my singing videos. I'm sorry. They're right next to each other. So I don't know how the confusion happened that I wasn't an artist, but I had to tell this person that I was an artist. So once that was on the table, eventually after hours and hours and hours and hours, they were like, so like, what do you want to like play me your music? I play them my music. They don't say much. We sit down on the couch. I end up playing music on guitar and singing, which like, if you know me, that's my bread and butter. Like one thing I know for certain is that I can sing and play acoustic guitar, and I can do it differently than anyone else that you hear. And that's why have a full-time job doing what I do at the places that I do it at. So I do that, once again, like doesn't say much. After like 2 more hours, we get back to the point of my music, and they basically told me that I was non-original. My voice is not unique. I'm interchangeable with any female artist out there. My music basically is not that great. A lot of work needs to be done. I showed them my new song that's coming out. Like, it was just all negative. And I really thought that I was going to go in here. I was like, oh, like, I see you, God. Like, I got kicked this past week and the weeks before. So you're going to give me this, and there's going to be a good thing. And I ended up getting kicked while I was down. And that was really difficult. Like, I really got to a breaking point after that happened. So I left in fucking pieces. Like, I have never been so willing to like give up, honestly. And I don't want to scare y'all, because like I would never give up, and I the reality of the situation is I'm never going to stop. But I really got to this place of, am I delusional about my own worth and my own talent? Am I in the wrong fucking lane here? Like, and I just started questioning everything between the rejection in, a relationship sense and an intimate sense, the rejection, somebody that I thought was going to be there with me, on tour, winning awards, like doing the biggest things. They leave. The rejection from somebody that I wanted to work with, he's high up in the industry. It was just a lot. It was a lot, and it was just really difficult for about 24 hours. And I cried that night. I cried that morning. I woke up. I wanted to cancel my studio session that I had that day. And I talked to some people that really love me. And I came to this place of realizing that I have 2 options. I can quit. I can stop doing this. I can stop pursuing music. I can try to do something else. Or I can let all of this go, let all of it kind of just roll off me, and continue to pursue what I love and what makes me happy, music. And when you're faced with that decision where you're like, I feel like nobody fucking believes in me. Like, not only do I feel like that, it's kind of been proven to me. Not no one, I shouldn't say nobody, but people don't believe in me that I wanted to believe in me. When they fall away and it's just you, and you're crying and you're alone, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? It can bring you this sense of like freedom, of being like, it doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't matter if this huge person in the industry hates my shit. It doesn't matter if someone that I thought was going to like take me to the end is no longer there. Like, because it's not even about them. What I do is not about them. What I do is not about anybody else but myself. So really, what the fuck does it matter if these people aren't on board? I'm doing this for me. And I think for a while I lost that about myself. I'm like getting emotional. I like lost the fact that like I do music for me, and that I create because it fills me up, and it's not for other people. And yes, I'm trying to make songs that are, gonna like do great things and blow up and go viral on TikTok. But at the end of the day, like, I would be nothing without my music. So no one is going to make me give this up and lose this and lose my connection to my soul's purpose, no matter how shitty they think I am or whatever their opinions are of me. So let me get it together. That's how you know I'm like, this is my baby and I love it so much. I just love music, and it really saves my life. And I like, how dare someone tries to take that from me, and they just won't. So I got to that place where I was like, wow, I feel so free of people's opinions of me now, and people having to validate what I think is good and what I think is right to do with my music, because they're not going to change my life. I'm the one that's going to change my life. And yes, people are going to, be there to support at certain times and for certain seasons, and they're all going to do their part. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's about me, and it's about my constant belief and just pushing forward. So I just think that rejection at the lowest point can be the most pivotal moment if you choose that. If you choose to say, well, nobody fucking likes it and I still love it, so that must be worth something because it's filling me up and it's making me happy. And when I was posting what I posted on Instagram, that's what I meant by that freedom. It's like you can choose to rise above all that shit. And I'm finally understanding what people talk about when they say like the greatest people were like the biggest failures in so many people's eyes. And I'm also very like connected with my higher voice, and I'm very spiritual. So while all this is happening, I still have this voice in my head that's like, this is all such a good plot. Like, this is all such a good storyline. It's all meant to happen this way because your win is going to be that much sweeter. And I'm getting to that place with like everything in my life where it's like all the failures and all the times I get knocked down and all the times that I think a song is going to pop off and it doesn't. It's like, it's just all part of the story. And I think everybody craves fame right now. And fame is very easy and accessible, or it seems to be. And we're watching a lot of people around us get famous. But I think that it can be so damaging to mental health. And sometimes I think that I wouldn't have been able to handle it at any other point, Maybe it's not happened yet. I haven't become the artist that, the Billboard Top 40 artist, because I still have work to do on my mental. Like, God doesn't want me to fall fucking victim to the terrible side effects of fame, like, because I'm meant to do more than that. So you just don't know what your story and your timeline is, and you just don't know why it is the way it is. So I'm just putting a lot of trust right now in my path. And I've been rejected pretty hard the past month and a half, and it's, it shot my ego down. It's made me question myself, but after that happened, that third instance, I was just like, I feel like unbreakable in a weird way, right? Because it was like I was broken down completely. Like, I was at my worst after that happened. And I just feel like resilient, and I feel less afraid of time because I realize that no matter what, I'm going to do this. So why worry? Why freak out? Why stress? There's literally no point because I'm always going to do this. I can be fucking 50 years old. I guarantee I'll still be doing music. So it gave me some relief in a weird way. I know that sounds weird. I hope that I got that point across to y'all. I don't know, but it's not as upward as you guys might think that it is, right? Even I have to like check myself a lot of the times because I'm watching a bunch of people like what they seem to be on an upward thing. And once you consume people's content like this, right, where they're like talking on a podcast and they're kind of being open about their road to success, it's the same story every time. And it's like there were so many really hard, difficult, down moments. There were so many moments where I thought I was going to give up. There were so many moments where I thought that I wasn't going to make it and that I wasn't good enough. Like, everyone who is really successful has this same story. So if anything, that should be really encouraging to everybody who feels like they're struggling. You can choose to turn the struggle into beauty. Like, I know it's corny again, but you really can. And it's all about choice. I could have chosen to listen to that person who told me that I sucked literally. I mean, he might as well have said that. I could have chosen to, have another failed, like, relationship on my team, break me down and be like, well, I really must not be shit because this happened multiple times. And I could have chosen to, like, not really see my own worth even with that guy because he chose somebody else. But out of all those scenarios, I feel like I took a more positive and enlightened outlook. And that's fucking growth, okay? You might think that, I'm chaotic, I'm this, I'm that, whatever. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact that I'm growing because old me would have never handled these situations like this, especially one after the other. So I'm just going to say that I'm really proud of myself. And I turned 26 this month, and I've never been more self-assured and felt stronger just in my purpose. So that's pretty cool, So yeah, I just want to share that with you guys. Sorry I got emotional. I honestly did not think that I was going to get emotional at all. But I also am not surprised because music is, I always say that music saves me. And I say that because I think a lot of depression and anxiety can come from people not feeling purpose in their life and not feeling like they know what they want to do with their life and just not knowing their meaning. And from a very, very, very young age, I knew for certain that I wanted to like do music and be an artist. So that is why I say that it saved my life, because if I didn't have it, I don't know. I don't know how my mental health would be. Pretty emotionally turbulent person. So not having something to constantly be like, this is my life, this is what I do, I don't really know who I would be or where I would be. So that's why I say music saves my life. And I genuinely know that every single person can find that for themselves. You have to be open to it. And you have to be grateful for where you're at right now. And I know that's so hard. And I know that's easier said than done. I don't know any of y'all's situations that are listening, but it's just like finding like what is it called? Like the diamond in the rough. Like it's finding like the rose. Fuck, I forget the analogy. But it's just in the mountain. The silver lining. It's finding the silver lining. Like even in the hard things, right? It's like, I get it. Everything can seem like it's shit. Everything seems like it's shit most of the time. I know you listening are like, everything's shit, because I feel like that all the time. Like, even today, I said to Elizabeth, I'm like, oh God, like, what a week. But also, like, there was silver linings, and there were really high highs. And I think even when you're going through a really hard time, like, you can still find good things. And I know some of you might hear that and get annoyed and be like, ugh, that's like toxic positivity. No, feel your emotions. Like I said, I give myself space to feel sad. I allow myself to cry. Feel your emotions, especially if things are really bad, but you're the only person who's going to get yourself out of that. So you have to, at some point, take control and be like, okay, let me think about just a couple things that are good in my life. And I promise you that little act will slowly start to change your brain path. Like, and I know everybody says it, but it's so true. It's the little things that can really help you change your whole mindset, and it's day by day. But I don't know. I feel like that's the only way to get through life, guys, because otherwise, you're right. Life can be hard and life can be really shitty, but what are you going to do? Like, you can either live it that way or try to find the positive. So wow, I feel like I just went off on a really long tangent, but I hope you guys got something out of that. But yeah, don't be afraid of rejection. I mean, I think it's a huge part of trying to achieve anything in life. And I can now fully say I get the whole like failures just make you stronger, because this past week was a perfect example of that. Like, why do I feel stronger today than I did? I will even say that I did during 75 Hard, than I did before any of that happened. I feel stronger today because I went through that. So I think any situation like that, you should actually like take it as, oh, I'm about to level the fuck up because I'm at rock bottom, you know? So that's my rejection kind of spiel. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was me getting really, really real. I'm terrified to even listen back to that because I really feel like I got intense. But yeah. Okay, I think I said everything I wanted to say on that. I hope you guys are enjoying this time with me in these solo episodes. I'm going to sprinkle in one every other week so we can kind of connect, and just let me know if like you guys have topics that you want to hear me talk about, or just have questions for me about like my artist career, or even just my life and kind of how I got to where I'm at right now. So just leave a comment because we are on YouTube and I would love to hear from y'all. But I want to get into a new segment that I'm starting. Once again, we just started this podcast, so we're working out all the kinks. I'm figuring out what I want to do with this, what works for me. Thank you guys for being along for the ride. The first episode, I was fucking wasted, so sorry about that. But that's also a side of me. And the second episode, I got really deep with, you know, my mom here, Christine, and like, I just feel like you guys have seen a lot of sides of me already, which was my entire goal with this. So thank you guys for being here. We're working out a lot of stuff, but this new segment that I want to start, which is kind of a play on the segment that I already started, which is the 3, what was it called? Like spicy questions. But I realized like I'm not just spicy. I am also sweet. Some people might disagree with that. We're not going to listen to them, because I believe that I'm sweet and spicy. So we're going to do sweet and spicy. So 3 sweets and 3 spicy things, okay? I just realized I didn't come up with any spicy things for you guys, but I did come up with the 3 sweet things. So they're going to be 3 manifestations. So I'm going to ask my guests what their 3 manifestations are, because how fucking cool is it that I'm sitting here and I'm recording my manifestations to y'all, and then when they happen, we're all going to be able to be like, oh my God, remember in this episode where you said that this was going to happen and that it did? That's what I'm talking about. That'll be really fucking cool. So that's what we're going to start doing. I gave you guys a lot of spice already, so I think we're good on that. So we're going to talk about my 3 manifestations that I have for this next. I'm not going to put a timeline on it. These are my 3 manifestations for this episode for this week. First one is that's not how manifestations work. I will go on tour in the year of 2022. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I didn't talk about this a lot this episode because I don't have advice for you, because I'm still struggling with it. I am a victim of comparison. A lot of my peers around me, like a lot of Nashville artists around me that like, we're all kind of like in a pool, they're going on tour. I'm seeing it. I'm like, that's fucking incredible for them. And that makes me feel like I can do it. But it also is like, damn, I want to fucking do that, right? And I compare myself the most in music, honestly. I know a lot of people like will compare themselves to like body types or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I do that, but mostly it's like music stuff. It drives me fucking crazy. I'm the worst about it. So I just really, really, really want to be on tour. So I will go on tour, whether that's me like being an opening act, going on a music festival circuit, or doing my own tour. Who the fuck knows with the internet nowadays? I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that I will be on a tour in 2022. Even if it's me riding around in my fucking Subaru, going to your local coffee shops in your city, I'm going on tour. Period. Okay, that's my first manifestation. The second one that I'm manifesting, I really am manifesting and will receive a lot of laughter and a lot of fun and just light. I won't lie, I did put man in here, like a funny man. Like I said, I am Kim, I need my Pete. That's what I have written down here. I'm not Kim, I want to be Kim, but I do need my Pete. I need some like lightheartedness, laughter. I don't know what sign that would be, but I just really see myself being around like a funny male figure that like, it's just good times because I am a Scorpio moon. I tend to really gravitate towards the darkness. I'm fucking done with it. Like all I want is to just like laugh and like have a lot of fun with somebody. And also, you know, like have emotional moments and all the good things. But like laughter is my number one. If you said, what is the number one quality you're looking for in a guy? I would be like, funny. Like I just need to laugh at this point. Look at my face. I need to laugh. I make myself laugh, but I need somebody else to make me laugh. So just good energy in my life, you know, preferably like if it's a man, that's fun. That's cool. And then the last thing that I'm manifesting is an amazing weekend at Hangout Fest with a lot of really fun memories and just allowing myself to enjoy the moment, take a break, go to the beach, meet friends, make friends, and just like enjoy myself. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me to do that sometimes. So that's my goal for this coming weekend. I'm going to have so much to share with you guys about Hangout. We have a lot more guests coming, and I'm just really passionate about this, you guys. This finally feels like a creative venture without a lot of pressure around it, and it just feels good to connect with y'all and show you guys more of me. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I have a new fucking song coming out June 3rd. That's in like a couple weeks. So I don't know if by the time this is out, it'll be out, but my new single Energy is coming out very, very soon. I hope you guys love it. Let's go prove that motherfucker wrong who said that it was ass, and go stream that shit. I'm back posting some exclusive content on all the sites. I do Playboy Centerfold as well. Thank you, Playboy, for signing me on to be a creator on your platform. So go subscribe to that. Go follow my Instagram. I am Jade Million, and my TikTok, which is Jade Million. Guys, that's a wrap for another episode of The Green Room with Jade Million. I hope you guys love this episode, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.